Hi, this is Travis from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this clip on the Political Voices Network.
Must have got out, Ange. Had the key and I fell asleep. Woke up, it was gone. I reckon he's with Otis now. The informant.
I've been waiting
was
for
down
this all
at
week.
Raleigh Lake.
He does sound a little like Barney Fife, doesn't he?
Yep.
Representative
got
Comer's little. I don't.
Can't be. You can't hand over that informant, Aunt B, or I'm going to throw you in the cell.
They're
But
just
Auntie,
such,
I just make
such
pies.
they're such
You're
a,
a whistleblower.
they're such a clown show. The whole thing, right? I
I'm
don't.
so desperate.
Yeah.
Look over there.
Yeah. What is it from Ron Johnson saying you should just infer this or that. We don't have evidence or facts. What did he say? Oh, it's potential money laundering.
Yeah, potential.
I see. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say anymore. Complete clown show, right all the way up to Kevin McCarthy and this debt ceiling hostage crisis. But don't you feel like these lunatics are the lunatics that could actually drive us over the fiscal cliff?
Oh, absolutely. Let's not raise the debt ceiling. Let's hold the economy hostage so we can do anything to win.
Yeah.
Anything to win.
Yeah. Here he is, Kevin McCarthy.
Look, I think America is the number one economy in the world, and when we get done with this negotiations, America's economy is going to be stronger because we're going to make the American economy stronger by putting more people back to work, lifting them out of poverty, lowering our energy costs, and more importantly, curving our spending that the runaway. So as the world looks around and look back at America said they were spending too much, they won't be able to say that when we're done.
Okay, and Mitch McConnell, one more.
Leader McConnell, say a few words.
Let me just say what I've said since February. The president and the speaker are the keys to the deal. I'm prepared to try to deliver as much of my conference as I can for whatever the speaker and the president can agree to that we know will get a signature.
Translation, this isn't my problem, it's your problem,
Yes.
Kevin.
Yeah. I just.
Too old.
Pardon me?
I'm too old. My lettuce is getting spoiled. I got to get back to my lettuce. It's turning brown.
Can I just say, Carlos, you are an alpha liberal. This is why I'm wearing one of my alpha liberal T-shirts available at stephaniemiller.com, because this is how you deal with these clowns. This is Representative Moskowitz yesterday. Did you hear this?
Oh, look, I know you guys are busy. I know you got stuff going on. You're trying to find, the fake informant that you've now has gone missing. I know you're busy with that. But I'm hoping that perhaps the Oversight Committee, if they're so worried about, federal overreach, perhaps they can start, being focused on real government oversight. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
All right. Yep. Yeah, and what's the Jasmine Crockett yesterday? She was fantastic. Real quick, Alpha Liberaling 101. Here we go.
My Republican colleagues want to talk about keeping D.C. streets crime-free. They can't even keep the halls of Congress crime-free, because we gonna talk about this, because I got 24 seconds. My freshman colleague has just been indicted on 13 felony counts, right? But have they exhibited any courage to say, you know what, we will disallow this in our body. We will make sure that we expel this individual. They have not. So what I don't want to hear is that they care about crime, because if they did, they would start by cleaning up our own house and mind our own business instead of coming after DC. So thank you so much for your time.
Oh, no, thank you, Representative. You cannot let the party of George Santos lecture you. I mean, it's just,
Trump, the party of Trump.
Yeah.
You cannot lecture us on moral value and civility and fair play and lawfulness.
They are terrorists, either literal ones from January 6th or economic terrorists and what we're going through again with this debt ceiling. They are anti-democracy. Did you see Senator, what's his name, Football McDump? Tommy Tuberville.
Tommy Tuberville.
So now he not only said the Donald Trump sexual assault conviction makes him want to vote for him twice. He declared the alleged targeting of Donald Trump to be so enraging that Americans should just say, let's don't have elections anymore.
But you don't do it. Let's just make him king.
He said, the swamp doesn't like any outsider whatsoever. It's just a shame people don't go to jail for this. He's talking about this Durham nothing burger. So he said, if people don't go to jail for this, American people should stand up and say, listen, enough's enough. Let's don't have elections anymore. They are anti-democracy, Carlos, period.
Oh, they want the king. They want something to worship to. And don't forget your great quote by the Barry Goldwater picture that you have there. about fearing the religious right and their influence on the Republican Party, and he was right way back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And same with Frank Zappa. Authoritarianism and is coming in the form of religious theocracy, and it's all backed by big religious money.
In the 80s, he said every good Christian ought to kick Jerry Falwell right in the ass. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anyway.
This is why they don't care. Whoever can get the nationalists, what they want, it doesn't matter.
And by the way,
they
Tommy
can literally
Tuberville,
be the devil.
No one went
Satan.
No one went to jail in the Durham thing because no one did anything wrong.
No.
I mean, oh my God.
I don't. Even if one aspect of this is true, and Chris jumped on my timeline on Twitter. Even if one aspect of this is partially true, I don't care because that's done. What you have still is a choice in a national election between two candidates, Biden or Trump. Biden is the far better choice. That's the fact. I don't care what the Durham report says.
Yeah, but first of all, the Durham, but again, you need to stipulate that it's nothing. That the
it's
FBI
a bar
made
appointee.
FBI made some mistakes, period.
Right.
There's no new charges. There's no recommended changes. Nothing. He tried 2 prosecutions. They both failed. One guy got basically a parking ticket for misrepresenting one thing in one email or something. There was no there once again.
Yet you get the far left people again. This was their big day yesterday. See, it was a Russia hoax. It was a da-da-da-da. And again, even if you think that's true, fine, that's done. Now start talking about book banning, anti-LGBT, anti-women, guns, climate, voter suppression. All that's true. So start talking about that now. Be a journalist, not a freaking carnival salesman selling elixir to comedy clubs. Be a freaking journalist. Tell the truth that there are 2 choices that can win an election. There's 2 choices. That's it. That's reality.
I got it.
Be pragmatic and vote for the lesser of 2 evils, if you're going to call it that. Vote for the Democrats. They are imperfect, but they are far from the Republicans, and they are the only 2 parties that can win and appoint judges and appoint the Supreme Court.
There's not a
That's
single
the truth.
There's not a single candidate on earth that is perfect. So if you're waiting for the perfect candidate,
except for me.
No, you have skeletons, lady.
Yeah, no.
It makes me
except if my medical records are released.
Exactly.
Okay, Marie in Atlanta is the official Atlanta prosecutor of the Stephanie Miller Show.
Yes.
Until we can get Phony Willis on the phone. Hello, Marie. Hello.
Good morning. Yes, Stephanie, you are far from perfect. Apparently, you don't know where you're supposed to give butterfly kisses.
Well,
Marie.
Yeah, there you go.
Marie Louise, Atlanta.
She's right.
All right, go ahead.
No, I was just laughing the other day when they were talking about how apparently the judge in the Bragg prosecution matter is ordering that Trump has to sit for a class to learn about how he can't tweet things and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I'd almost pay money to be in the room for that because they're going to have to take his cell phone away. They're going to have to take away any device that he could use to distract himself. And I'm pretty sure the guy has ADD.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just going to be comical.
Yeah. Yeah. No, exactly. He has to be ordered not to talk about what any normal human would know, that you can't talk about evidence in an ongoing case, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. All right, fill in, prosecutor. Thank you.
Excuse me, can I use the restroom? Teacher, I gotta go. I have my hand raised. I really... Too late.
Oh, speaking of... Jane in Virginia on dog poop. Hello, Jane.
Hi.
Hi.
There's actually a technical term for the little dried turds that you have to cut off of a dog's butt occasionally.
Yes.
They're called dingleberries.
Yes. Right. Correct.
Mm-hmm. And John
Oh, no. That's terrible, the timing to lose that information. What happened to our phone line? Right when Okay.
It's like me last week.
Right, exactly.
Yes,
we lost
right?
you just like a dingleberry.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade. It is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and healthcare benefits. Fool me once. Let Majority Rule was responsible for this message. LetMajorityRule.org is a project of the Marvin Lucas Super PAC, which is responsible for and paid for this ad and is not affiliated with or authorized by any political campaign or candidate or candidates committee.